Welcome back to the Dr. Bowser Basketball Podcast, powered by Sports Guys Iowa. March is here, which means postseason basketball is underway across the country. And once again, Iowa programs are well represented in the NAIA National Tournament. 4 teams from Iowa are heading into the opening rounds: Penn, Northwestern, Graceland, and Morningside. Each team earned its spot through outstanding seasons in the Heart of America Conference and the Great Plains, 2 of the strongest leagues in NAIA. The tournament begins with 64 teams spread across 16 host sites, and the winner of each pod will advance to the NAIA final site in Kansas City at historic Municipal Auditorium. So let's take a look at where the Iowa teams are headed and what their paths might look like on the road to Kansas City. Let's start in Orange City, Iowa, where the Northwestern Red Raiders are hosting one of the most intriguing pods in the tournament. The bracket includes number 4, Northwestern, number 5, Penn, number 12, College of Idaho, and number 13, Taylor. And if things break right, there's a possibility we could see an all-Iowa matchup for the pod championship. Northwestern enters the tournament 26-5 overall and riding one of the hottest streaks in the country. The Red Raiders have won 13 straight games, capturing the GPAC Tournament Championship and building serious momentum heading into the national tournament. Offensively, Northwestern has been one of the most explosive teams in all of NAIA this season, averaging 94.5 points per game. Jesse Van Kalsbeek is averaging 27.9 points and 12.4 rebounds per game, while Jalen Langsey is right behind him with 27.4 points per game. That combination of scoring and rebounding makes Northwestern incredibly difficult to defend. The Red Raiders will open the tournament against Taylor University, an at-large team from the Crossroads League. Taylor enters the tournament 19-10 overall and is led by Pete Combs, who averages just over 15 points per game. The key to this matchup will likely come down to tempo. If Northwestern turns this into a track meet, their offensive firepower could take over quickly. The other game in Orange City features Penn, the number 5 seed, taking on the College of Idaho. The Statesmen enter the tournament at 25-6 overall and arrive on a 7-game winning streak after capturing the Heart of America Athletic Conference Championship. Head coach John Henry, now in his 25th season, has built one of the most consistent programs in all of NAIA basketball. This year's team is led by Heart of America Player of the Year, Fode Sheriff, who averages 16.2 points per game and 9.6 rebounds per game, along with Davion Boulware, who adds 14.6 points per game. As a team, Penn averages nearly 90 points per game and dominates the glass with a significant rebounding advantage. Their opponent, College of Idaho, brings tremendous national tournament experience. The Yotes are making their 29th tournament appearance and have 3 national championships in program history. This matchup could turn into a contrast in style. Penn prefers to push tempo and attack the boards, while College of Idaho tends to play a more controlled defensive style. The winners of the 2 semifinal games will meet Saturday night in Orange City with a trip to Kansas City on the line. Next, we head to Huntington, Indiana, where Graceland University will compete in the opening round for the 2nd straight season. The Yellow Jackets earned the number 6 seed and will open tournament play against number 11 seed Lindsey Wilson out of Kentucky. The other side of the bracket features number 3 seed Huntington hosting number 14 seed Bellevue. The winners of those 2 games will meet the following night for the pod championship and a spot in the round of 16 in Kansas City. For Graceland, this trip represents another opportunity to build on the program's recent postseason presence. Last year, the Yellow Jackets also played in Huntington, entering the tournament as an 11 seed before falling to Northwestern of Iowa in the opening round. This season, however, Graceland arrives as the higher seed after a strong year in the Heart of America Conference, earning the regular season conference championship. The Yellow Jackets have built their identity around defensive discipline, rebounding, and balanced scoring, which tends to translate well in tournament basketball. Their first-round opponent, Lindsey Wilson, comes out of the Mid-South Conference, another physical league that prepares teams well for postseason play. If Graceland can control tempo and win the battle on the glass, they have a real chance to advance deeper into the bracket. Earlier this week, we had the opportunity to talk to head coach Todd Lorenzen. Coach Lorenzen, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. Talk to us a little bit about your regular season. You were the regular season conference champions, number 1 seed in the Heart of America Conference tournament, and made it all the way to the championship game. It goes to overtime. You fall to the William Penn Statesman, but you still get a bid into the NAIA National Tournament. So talk maybe a little bit about the flow of the regular season, the conference tournament, the championship game, and then ultimately finding out that you are an at-large berth into the NAIA National Tournament.
Well, we've got an extremely talented team, guys who have been there and done that as far as playing in important games, whether that be in a conference regular season game or postseason tournament games, and even last year at the NAIA National Tournament. I thought last year we just got a really tough bid. Northwestern had their first team All-American, missed multiple games with injury and dropped a few, so their record and seed line probably was not indicative of how good of a team they were, and them making the Sweet 16 and losing at the last second there, I think, proves that was accurate. But the seed was what their record said, so I'm not questioning anybody from that perspective. But when you evaluated them and watched them play, they did not scream a 6 seed. They definitely screamed a 2, 3, 4 seed. So it was a tough matchup for us because they were better than their seed line showed. And then on top of that, just a tough matchup for who we are and how we play. But having guys who have experienced that, I think it's definitely going to help. We've got multiple guys returning, including some key players. We sure hope that's a positive thing for us. And it never hurts to wear those white uniforms being the top seed. So we're excited to do that as well.
Coach, thanks so much for talking about the regular season and how you've landed in this spot. You're matched up in the first round against Lindsey Wilson. Talk a little bit about that matchup and how you think it might go for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Lindsey Wilson is an extremely talented opponent. They play in a great league. They've got 2 teams in the top 10 and another 2 that are in the top 25. They finished 5th place in the league, and they've got the player of the year in the league. I'm referring to all of these guys as their jersey number. Honestly, I'm not trying to disrespect them. I don't know their names as well, but I do know their jersey numbers because that's the priority for us, especially in a scouting situation. But number 2 was the player of the year on the 5th place team. That just tells you how talented he is, knowing how good some of those other programs have been this season. And around him, they have a lot of guys who can shoot it. So they really stretch you thin, and then he's able to, score at all 3 levels, gets in a lot of ball screen situations. So we're going to have our hands full from a defensive perspective, as you would expect this time of year. But I do think there's some things that we can do with our scheme and our system and the personnel that we have that will provide them some challenges. And we were at Huntington last year, so in some ways I was hoping to go somewhere different just for the experience of our guys who are returners. But in that same breath, it is nice to have just some familiarity with what we're doing as far as the facility. And Huntington did a great job of hosting the first and second rounds last year, so we know it's going to be a well-organized situation. We won't have any things that come up that are surprising, and we can just get there, get settled in, have a great day of practice on Thursday, and then get our shoot around on Friday and be ready to play a really talented Lindsey Wilson team on Friday night.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time with us today to talk a little bit about Graceland Yellow Jackets basketball, and good luck to you in the NAIA National Tournament.
I really appreciate what you guys are doing for small college athletics, and our league, the Heart of America, is extremely strong, and we're just happy to get an opportunity to share about our team in particular, but also spread the word of our league in general. So it's going to be a great weekend for us. I hope our league does well across the board so we can continue to get the notoriety that I think we rightfully deserve. And I know we're going to play extremely hard. We're going to try to execute to the best of our ability, and then at the end of the day, we'll have to see where the chips fall.
Finally, we head south to Shreveport, Louisiana, where Morningside University will compete in the opening round. The Mustangs earned the 7 seed and will open tournament play against number 10, Texas Wesleyan. Morningside enters the national tournament 22-7 overall after capturing the GPAC regular season championship. This marks the 4th consecutive season The Mustangs have now qualified for the national tournament. Offensively, Morningside has been extremely efficient this year, averaging 89 points per game while sharing the basketball at a high level. The Mustangs average nearly 20 assists per game, showing just how well they move the ball. Alex Wilcoxon leads the team with 17 points and 5.6 assists per game while providing playmaking ability that drives the offense. Their opponent, Texas Wesleyan, enters the tournament 19-9 overall and is led by Dalen Hamilton, who averages 14.4 points per game. The winner of that matchup will likely face host LSU Shreveport, the number 2 seed in the bracket and one of the most productive offensive teams in the country. LSU Shreveport averages over 91 points per game and enters the tournament with a 26-5 record after sweeping both the Red River Athletic Conference regular season and conference tournament titles. If Morningside can control the pace, defend without fouling, and execute offensively, they'll have a chance to steal a road pod and advance to Kansas City. When you zoom out and look across the national bracket, Iowa programs are spread across the country. Orange City, Indiana, Louisiana, but each of these teams brings something different to the tournament. Northwestern brings elite offensive production. William Penn brings championship experience in physical play. Graceland brings defensive toughness and balance. And Morningside brings offensive efficiency and strong ball movement. If things break right, there's a real possibility we could see multiple Iowa teams making the trip to Kansas City for the NAIA final site. And as we all know, once teams reach Kansas City, anything can happen. Thanks for joining us. That's our preview of the NAIA National Tournament opening rounds for Iowa programs. We'll be keeping a close eye on these matchups this weekend, and we will be back with recaps, analysis, and storylines as the tournament unfolds. This has been the Dr. Bowser Basketball Podcast, powered by Sports Guys Iowa. I'm Chris Bowser. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you soon.